Why are you mean to me, world? Why must you fill my house with witches and monsters and nonsense? What I want to do next, I want the sun to come up. There it is, you can see the moon moving. Let's just watch the beautiful sunrise in safety for a little while. And when the sun comes up, I'm going to try to place a bunch of torches to try to just clear out a lot of the dangers nearby. They would have to spawn a goddamn witch on me, though. So, today's video is going to be a bit of a response to the earlier video about uploading too much. This comment is from Jeru Sanders. There's also a lot of other comments that were similar, but this one in particular gave me a little bit more to talk about. But he says, I have to vocalize the sound, I'm from The Witness. I like you, although I could never subscribe. It would destroy my sub box with series I mostly don't care about. Every week or so, I see what you're playing, but so far nothing besides Antichamber has interested me. Sooner or later I'll forget completely, though. That's the downside of this upload style. I'd be interested to know how many of your views come from subs versus non-subs. Or just how many views. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I started correcting myself and realized that there was no need for correction. Hey, while I was reading that, the sun came up and the zombies died. I heard them die. Now all we have is a witch problem outside. Pain in the ass. So the thing about subs versus non-subs and everything, I actually went ahead and did the math there, because on the and actually I caught myself writing a response comment to this comment and then realized, what am I doing? This is a Q&A series. Just make a video responding to the comment. That makes more sense. I looked at my stats for views and views and non-views. Wow, what is a non-view? Views from subscribers and non-subscribers, which is actually a stat that you can look up relatively easily. She just poisoned herself. Because you can actually look up views for subscribers versus non-subscribers, and I found my numbers, and at the moment I am sitting at 24% of my views coming from subscribers. And I was wondering whether or not that was normal and stuff like that. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, well I have stone pickaxes. Oh, it's fine, I think she just killed herself anyway. No, she didn't. Well, I have stone pickaxes to hit her with, I guess. My goal there was to make a stone sword. And there goes the last of my sticks. Oh well. Maybe I can make her do that again. So 24% of my views over the last 30 days were from subscribers versus non-subscribers. Please throw a pot at me again. Oh, she got me. Damn it. Really hoping she'd kill herself. Hi. Trying to position myself straight over her so she hopefully falls for it. Yay! She's hurting herself. I might die. I should go inside the house and so my stuff falls inside the house at least. Nope, it stops at the last second. I wasn't sure if it was that poison rule or not. Okay, so I asked around in my Skype group because I have access to a few other people with larger channels that have been either around longer than me or just have different experiences than I do with different subscriber counts and so on and so forth. Different video types. Some of them make the highlight videos, some of them make normal Let's Plays, but make fewer videos per day, because basically everyone does fewer videos per day than me. I asked Dragast and C-Top, and Dragast has a stat around 32% for how many views are coming from subscribers, and C-Top has a number closer to 15%. Right now. She really hasn't died at all, has she? She's probably healing herself, annoyingly. And I need to cook up some pork chops is what I need to do. So basically one of them's doing, they're both larger channels than mine. One of them has a higher subscriber percentage and the other one has a lower one. And we discussed a bit about what it means to have those kinds of numbers and so on, and it's a really hard stat to pinpoint. Because if you're close to 0, then ultimately none of your subscribers are actually watching your content, which is bad. But if you're close to 100%, that means that you are basically a ship in a bottle because no one outside of your subscriber base is seeing your videos. That's like the equivalent of being one of those brand new channels that shared where you shared your profile on Facebook and your friends and your mom subscribed, and then they're your only viewers for the last 30 days. That's what it's like if all of your views are coming from subscribers, which is not good. And ultimately, we don't have an answer for what kind of number is good or not. But basically, it's hard to pinpoint what to even look at there. At the end of the day, I have, well, I want to say there was like 130,000 views every single month from my subscribers alone, which is kind of a huge number, because that means out of, okay, now I have to try to think about doing math, but I would say that's like 6 or 7 views per subscriber per month, which is actually huge, as far as I can tell, because it's generally understood that a relatively small number of your subscribers are usually going to be active. I'm a little healed up now. As a general rule, subscribers tend to not be very active at all. You'll watch someone like PewDiePie and stuff, or really any channel, and realize that, like, if they're lucky, their view count will be like 5 to 10% of their actual subscriber count, and oftentimes that's not even the case. So it could be. Oh, cool! She's dying of her own poison. Take that. Is she healing though actively? I genuinely don't know how many hit points these things have. I might die here. I think she just missed me. Please die. Please die. I'm watching those all those hearts fall off. Damn it. Wow. I'm gonna need a better weapon for this, aren't I? Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted by this unkillable witch. At least I'm actually hurting her this time, unlike last time we dealt with one of these. Oh, crap. Well, while I run back, we'll continue with this topic. So, it's important to try to figure out what the metrics are that are involved with subscriber count versus views and stuff like that. And a lot of it is you need to have views actively coming out, because in order for a video to get views, in order for your subscribers to see your videos, generally you need to be actively making videos. If there are not daily videos, for example, or you make like one video every month or so, then you probably have much lower subscriber percentage of views, because you aren't actively feeding your subscribers videos. So any views you get, pretty much by definition, are through locations other than the subscriber box. Granted, some of those could be subscribers that are looking at your channel and just watching everything again, because that's relatively common for someone like a JonTron that makes a different kind of content, where the content is kind of rare, and then so people often will go back and watch all of your content from time to time. Sometimes, which leads to the stereotypical comment of, I just rewatched everything, and now there's a new video. It's like, wow, amazing timing. Is that the usual comment that comes up a lot? Spend enough time on YouTube, you start getting real used to seeing certain comments a lot. Is she dead? Or is she gone? I guess I can check my inventory to see if I have a weird item that might have come from her. Because I don't see her here. Maybe she died of poison eventually. There's a spider eye. I doubt that's from her. Anyway, I'm just going to move on from that for now. At least she's not in the way. Bloop. Oh, there's a block. I'm going to put some torches around to try to make this place a little safer at night, to prevent enemy spawns a bit, as best I can. Here we go. So you want to be actively actively providing content for your subscribers to watch, obviously. But then there's also the issue of you want to be growing. And in order to be growing, you need to be consistently having your content watched by people who are not your subscribers, which means you need to have the counterbalance. Because if you, like Dragast's own estimation was that if you have more than 50% of your views coming from subscribers, you're probably stagnating and you're probably not growing. And that's probably a decent rule of thumb. It's kind of an arbitrary, nonsensical number, but that's the general idea, is that you kind of want your views to be coming from non-subscribers, because otherwise your channel's not going anywhere. And unfortunately, just because of a general way that humans work, people just lose interest over time, no matter what it is. I've actually unsubscribed from a number of channels recently that I've been subscribed to for a long time, just because I found I wasn't watching their videos anymore. And some of them, like a lot of them, don't have the most common content, or like I recently unsubscribed from CinemaSins, for example, just because I just realized one day that I didn't really get anything out of watching their videos anymore, and probably just because of overexposure over a certain amount of time, and just falling into the certain formula of what their videos usually are, and just not really looking forward to them the way I once did. And that just happens. You get used to certain types of content. It's like there's someone might disagree with me on this, but I look at it as the difference between Simpsons and South Park, for example, where arguably the Simpsons are kind of known for being for having had their entire series just kind of stagnate at some point and get uninteresting. But South Park, on the other hand, I would argue didn't really stagnate and has actively improved or actively worked with their formula and really done inventive things with their series. But a lot of people say South Park sucks now, or they got bored with South Parks, or something like that. And in many cases, I think that's more because overexposure at some point. They've been around for like 15 years, and at some point, people change. You get exposed to the same sense of humor or the same formula or even just the same style of content for too long, and you eventually lose interest in seeing more of it, either because your sensibilities evolve over time and you drift away from that stuff the same way you might drift away from stuff that you used to watch as a kid, or simply because it becomes too routine. Whereas The Simpsons was like more of like, oh, this actually sucks now because it's just a product that's been kept around forever because they want to, and none of the people involved in it are really the ones that make it special anymore, or so on and so forth. Getting a little off base here, but that's some of the general concept is like, you have to accept the fact that people are going to move on from your content sooner or later, because it just kind of happens. And if it's not because of them getting too used to your content, and if it's not because they get overexposed, it could also just be because it's the internet and people get offended by stuff a lot. So you might just say the wrong thing one day and people don't want to see your stuff anymore. And that's totally an ongoing risk. I made an offhanded comment at one point about the movie Noah while I was playing Samurai Warriors with a friend of mine on the SAD games, and had someone flip out about offending their religion or something when I was really just making a single comment about a plot point in a movie, which of course is based on the Bible, but so on and so forth, and people will get their panties all twisted up in a bunch over times, and I don't always think that it's needed, but I don't necessarily invalidate things that people care about. I just will acknowledge the fact that at some point I'm gonna say something that pisses somebody off because it just happens. People get mad just because I suggest that maybe an individual mechanic of a game might be more interesting if it was like balanced in a slightly different way. It's like it really could just be anything. And so yeah, people move on, and that's why you need to be actively growing. So it's always good to have a decent percentage of views that are coming from non-subscribers. So what version of that number is good? I have zero clue. And based on the conversation that I'm currently watching develop in my Skype window from people that have larger channels than I do, I'm guessing that none of them have any idea what good numbers would look like either. Here we go. This will make my base. My base should be a bit less overrun by zombies and skeletons now. I don't know if the torches help with witches at all, but this will help with that at least. But ultimately, yeah, I'm relatively happy with my numbers. And for the record, and by the way, I get it. Like, there was this comment, and there was also several other comments from other people. Maybe not several, but a few other comments from a few other people that all suggest the same thing of like, I like your content, but I would subscribe if it wasn't going to obliterate my subscriber box with a billion videos. And I actually get that, because I often have the same sensibility. What I've had to come to accept, though, is that the average YouTube user doesn't work the way we do. Because yes, I have a heavily curated subscriber feed of video, and it only contains people that I'm actively watching videos from. And if I lose interest in their videos, I stop subscribing. And whenever I watch a video, I click the little button I click the little corner button to make the video get hidden away, so that I can then only have my front page be filled with the videos for my subscriber feed that I haven't watched yet. So I am essentially the antithesis of what I'm expecting from my own subscribers. But over time, what I've had to accept is that the average YouTuber uses YouTube something more like my friend Andrew, where they just fire up YouTube, and they're sitting there looking at like the front page of YouTube, and they just watch whatever a lot of the time. They don't really actively... What is that? Oh, there's snow blocks right over my house. Weird. They don't actively watch... they don't actively keep track of the exact chronological series of a given given episodes on a thing. Like, they just watch whatever they feel like at a given moment. I don't remember how to make boxes. Do you use, yeah, I'm sure you use wood blocks, right? Yeah. I should go knock down a tree if I can do that without dying. But yeah, a lot of people just watch YouTube by just firing up YouTube and they look at that home page. A lot of people I've talked to don't even know the subscriber page exists. They just watch whatever. And so providing a bunch of content, honestly, just increases your visibility in many cases, even for your own subscribers, because you're more likely to have your videos noticed in the noise that is their front page. But also increase, provide. I'm just gonna go away. This guy's gonna try to chase me into my house, so I'm just gonna not deal with him for now. So on top, but providing all this content often increases your visibility to your own subscribers. God damn it, because you can get lost in the noise of your own homepage at times if you're not producing enough. But at the same time, let's see. We'll do the. I'll finish off the wooden pickaxe. At the same time, the more videos you make, the more stuff you can cover, the more search results you can get, and the more different games you can play, while also maintaining a certain standard that I do of trying to actually finish said games, instead of doing what many people do, which is they just jump on the hottest new craze for like half an hour of video and then move on to the next one, because that's the alternative way to try to cover everything and get a bunch of search results, but also not drive yourself crazy with a ton of videos per day, is make 1 or 2 videos for each game and then move on forever. The Game Grumps, like, quick 3-episode series and then move on with your life approach to things. Where's my train of thought here? But yeah, so I think I've more or less covered some of that concept of, like, subscriber counts and the percentage of views that come from subscribers, which no one really has an answer for what's good, but I'm firmly between the stats of 2 other channels that I can compare myself to. So the general concept I want to deal with next is that the reality of my channel right now is that I am currently producing more videos per day than I ever have in the history of the channel. And at the same time, I'm currently getting more subscribers at a time than I ever have in the history of the channel. And I'm currently getting more views per day than I ever have in the history of the channel, and I'm making more money per day than I ever have in the history of the channel. So arguably, like, I guess I'm doing it right under some metric. You could say correlation does not prove causation and so on, which, you know, valid. Like, that's an important concept to me as any kind of physical science major. But the thing about this correlation is that this correlation's been made multiple times now. Because basically every time that I pump up my production tends to be when I end up getting more results. And that's just that's the reality of things. Is one day we might reach a point where I am more okay with producing less content per day, and, you know, just missing certain games and so on and so forth. But I think that that'll be more in a period of time where I have a comfortable amount of subscribers that I can be a little bit more relaxed about how I handle some of this stuff. But right now, and I get that my inventory is full, by the way. Yeah, spider egg, it doesn't matter. At the moment, I'm in the period of the channel where actively pursuing growth is the thing to do. So if something's actively growing my channel, that is the thing that I should be spending my time on. And I can say that all evidence points towards that this kind of behavior does actively grow my channel. And frankly, I had the experience of being on a channel that only uploaded 1 video a day for literally years, because I was on the sad game since 2011. I've been on YouTube for a very long time, and I've never had the kind of active community of active subscribers that I have right now, and I got there by having this kind of video output schedule. So I get that it's not for everyone, and I get that it's annoying for some people, and so on and so forth, and I totally empathize with that, because I don't like subscribing to channels that produce tons of videos. But I've just kind of accepted the fact that, hey, all signs point to this being what makes my channel do better, and also many things point to the idea that people often don't watch content the way that I do, and don't expect the same things from their channels that I do. It's a decent little tunnel, but more importantly, I got some iron finally. Or more iron. Let's start working on armor and everything. But yeah, so for the foreseeable future, I do expect to keep making a larger number of videos per day. I think right now is a little high. My goal is to finish up some of the shows that I'm doing right now and then downsize my schedule a bit, but it'll still probably be closer to 5 or 6 videos per day. I recently had a day where I had 10 videos in one day, and that is definitely not what I'm going for, partly because that's... You do eventually hit a point where the videos aren't doing as well, but also it can drive you insane to make that many videos. It was more of a coincidence in that Hyperlight Drifter just came out, so I already had my videos set up for the day, and then I made 3 Hyperlight Drifter videos for that day, and that's what made things get messy the way they did. Is that creeper gone? I don't see him around. But yeah, this will probably always be a high output channel, because the types of, like I said in the previous episode about this, the kind of content I make points towards me having higher amounts of output per day if I want to cover more than a couple games while also finishing them and everything. Like even a game like The Witness was done in 50 episodes, which is it's a long game even for that. And so like I think I got to keep going this way if I want to have the type of channel that I have right now. Basically, on the topic of games interesting you, I really do wish I could do better about that. Because like even I was saying stuff like, oh yeah, I'll try to play more games like The Witness. Here's the problem: not a lot of games are like The Witness, which is tough. It's like when I made my original growth on this channel, based around hey buddy, when I made oops, I misclicked. When I made a lot of my early progress around Dark Souls, I'm like, oh that's easy. I'll produce more content by playing more Dark Souls. I'll do New Game Plus playthroughs, I'll play other games in that series, and then I'll play related games, like I'll play The Witcher, and I'll play Lords of the Fallen, and I'll just capitalize on this. Like, there's related games everywhere. There's not really hot new titles coming out every month that are like The Witness, unfortunately. So following up on it's really tough, actually. You basically have to... Normally the way you grow a channel my size is by playing brand new games, and usually indie games, because that's where you get less competition, and that's how I got so many people subscribing for The Witness in the first place. The problem is that, yeah, those games aren't coming out. So if I want to try to play a game related to The Witness, I have to go older, and I have to try to go back in time and just sort of dig through like the greatest hits playlist of games that kind of fit that mold a bit that have come out in history, such as Antichamber, for example. But the problem there, of course, is that that well runs dry before too long. Even right now, like, what can I do? I can play The Witness. I can play Antichamber, which I already have. Then I can probably play both Portal games, which I've always meant to do at some point. But that's over relatively quickly, and neither of those games are anywhere near as long as The Witness, I don't think. And then, the first game's like 90 minutes long. And I could probably beat it in 40 minutes for all I know at this point. I don't remember it very well, but I've beaten it a few times over the last decade, so I could probably burn through that quickly. Then I guess there's Myst and Riven, and Real Myst, which I think that's just a port of the original Myst, but in a 3D engine instead of the weird skipping around one screen at a time thing. And then I think the people that made Myst are currently working on a project, so I can look forward to that. But yeah, it's not as easy to follow up on as much as I would really love to. So I'm actively seeking games to play that interest people that subscribe for The Witness, but it's unfortunately not an easy task. There we go, let's finally pop a chest down here, so I can place some of the nonsense that I have without it filling my entire inventory. This is better. Some of these are just kind of nonsense I crafted almost on accident. And put my extra sword away and my extra shovel. Here we go. And my weird rock types. This game has andesite, granite, and diorite. Wow. The game has changed. I just want to point that out. Those did not exist once upon a time in this game, and I'm oddly excited by the sudden appearance of new minerals. No, those are not minerals, those are rocks. Hello. Or at least granite's not a mineral. It is an igneous rock. That big channel going down there. Okay, so There's one last little bit of follow-up. What was the last little detail I wanted to cover? Oh, right. So the question is, of course, if all these big channels have a small percentage of views coming from their subscribers, that seems contradictory, right? You might be thinking, what's the point of subscribers if that's not actually where your views come from? But in a weird way, the subscribers are still where your views come from in a more indirect way. Because the thing about this whole situation is that your subscribers see your videos on day one. Now, they don't ultimately lead to all of your views because your videos last much longer past that and continue to get views over time, and they only get fed to your subscribers once. For example, I have Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and I have Witness, and I have Samarost, and I have Wasteland 2 is another really big one. Those playthroughs have absurd amounts of views, either throughout their entire playlist or at least towards the beginning of them. And all those views are accumulated over time. Those are not my subscribers. My subscribers are not, my subscribers do not make up the often, in some cases, 20 to 40,000 views on those videos, because, hey, my entire channel only has, 13,000 subscribers right now, so just basic numbers tells you that's not the case. But the thing is, YouTube promotes your videos based on engagement. The more views you get, the more likes you get, the more comments you get, and so on. Any form of interaction with your video promotes your video. It means that in search results and in related videos and so on, that video is more likely to show up over your competition. So the end result here is that even though your subscribers don't make up the majority of your views in general, their simple existence leads to a situation. I forgot to smelt my iron, didn't I? Did I not gather any? Did I leave it all down there because my inventory was full? The copper? I called it iron earlier. I'll just go back and get it then, I guess. I don't think it'll despawn yet. But on day one, your subscribers are the ones that see everything, they interact with everything, they give it the boost. So if your subscribers interact with your videos a lot, that means that those videos are more likely to show up as the top results for searches or related videos and so on, which leads to them doing well in the first place. I don't see copper. Did I already put it in the smelter and just forget? I might have actually forgotten. But yeah, so you guys are essentially, the fact that I have an increasing number of subscribers is how I end up doing better and better over time, because you guys keep giving my new videos a larger and larger boost. A good example of that is that I played Banner Saga 2 years ago, and those videos, a lot of those videos, even after 2 years, don't have 100 views. In fact, a lot of them, I totally did put it here already. A lot of those videos have been sitting at for a long time, a lot of those videos had I want to say less than 20 views even. They just sat there stagnating forever. But I play Banner Saga more recently, and I've even already had confirmation that brand new subscribers have been brought in by my Banner Saga playthrough. That's already crazy. Let's get the iron shirt. There we go. A little piece of armor. There you go. And I might as well use the last on the shovel, I guess, as we go for more. There we go. We have iron, you guys. But yeah, because I now have more subscribers, I can start a series, and that series will do better in the long run than it did back when when the same series exists on this channel already, but was uploaded originally with a smaller subscriber count. That's just a fact. I did my first Dark Souls 2 playthrough, and it did okay, and I did my playthrough a year later of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and it did astronomically well by comparison, and Bloodborne did way better by comparison than my original Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 playthroughs when I had a few hundred or 1,000 subscribers. Oh yeah, I started both of those before I had 1,000 even, the Dark Souls 1 and 2 playthroughs. And yeah, Banner Saga in 2016 does better now on my channel than it did back then, and that playthrough is likely to actually accumulate views over time, even though it's an older game, because you guys give it a bit of a boost when it first gets uploaded, whereas my original Banner Saga playthrough got no views and no growth, and no one will ever find it because it's obscure, and the engagement does not promote it, because that's just how YouTube works. So basically, I'm getting a bigger and bigger trampoline, a launching pad, whatever you want to call it. My videos, as my subscriber count increases, will do continually better. And the fact that I'm growing faster than I've ever done ever, and I'm actually continually making that keep happen, and that even after The Witness is dying down, I'm maintaining my momentum after that with other shows like Salt and Sanctuary and Semarost and Hyperlight Drifter and stuff like that, like is actually maintaining the momentum, which I was sure was going to die after The Witness, because that's what happened with Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin and stuff like that. The fact that I'm maintaining momentum tells me that I'm doing what is right by my channel right now, even if it does not fly quite the way that some people would want it to, and the way that even I, as a subscriber, would want it to. So, oh shit! I meant to put that on a bar. But yeah, I think that's more or less where I wanted to cover here. So yes, mixed feelings there. I acknowledge the inconveniences caused by how I run my channel, but I also know that ultimately this is what makes this kind of channel work. And if I wanted to make fewer videos, I would have to I'd basically have to turn into one of those highlight channels to make up for it, because I'd have to make really shareable and really viral type videos in order to make up for the fact that I wasn't maintaining enough output, and I wouldn't be able to cover all these interesting games that people are interested in, and I wouldn't be able to maintain my output, and I wouldn't be able to consistently finish things, and I ultimately wouldn't be the channel that you guys originally saw The Witness on, because I would have probably never been the type of person to do what I did there. But unfortunately, yes, I have to accept that some people, even if they like my content, I might not be might not be running a channel the way they want me to. But at the same time, if there's anything I've learned from this whole process, it's that no matter what I do, I'm always not doing something the way someone wants me to do it. Which is something shown by the fact that, like, some people praise my editing and are like, "Holy crap, I love that you edit just in the right way that respects our time, and yay." And so few YouTubers know how to properly edit it and everything, and then other people are like, "I hate it when you ever do any cut ever, because it breaks my immersion," is like a thing that other people say, and they're both valid, but they're mutually exclusive. And I'm doing things this way, and thankfully enough people are along for the ride. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.